Hello BBN, Kentucky has been named one of the portal's biggest winners in signings. Does this change everything? Do we have a great winning team? Let's take a look. But first sign up for more news from the Wildcats, and the program once again proved why it is considered a powerhouse in college basketball, solidifying its position as the biggest winner in the transfer portal. CBS Sports analysis of the 2025 transfer cycle placed the Wildcats at the top of the list of biggest winners, highlighting the program's ability to attract high-level talent and build a balanced roster for next season. Under Mark Pope, Kentucky demonstrated not only impressive strategic vision, but also an unmatched ability to navigate the competitive transfer market. The offseason was spectacular for Kentucky, with the program maintaining virtually all of the production from the previous team and adding key pieces that raised the overall level of the roster. With 14 talented players on the roster for the 2025-26 season, Kentucky is positioned as one of the most complete teams in the country, combining technical ability, versatility, experience, and depth. This composition is a direct reflection of the wise decisions made by Mark Pope and his staff during the recruiting period. Among the most notable additions is Jaden Quaintance, ranked as the 12th best transfer in the country by CBS Sports. After an impressive freshman season at Arizona State, where he drew attention for his defensive ability and shot blocking, Quaintance arrives at Kentucky to further strengthen the Wildcats' frontcourt. He will be joined by former Alabama guard Mo Diabat, whose physical presence and offensive instincts promise to be powerful weapons for the team. Another key addition will be Jalen Lowe, coming from Pitt, who averages 5.5 assists per game and will be a key player in the team's playmaking. Denzel Aberdeen, Florida, and Cam Williams, Tulane, round out the group of standouts, bringing power on the perimeter and creating a versatile dynamic on offense. David Cobb of CBS Sports highlighted Kentucky's ability to shop the luxury aisle during the transfer cycle, referring to the exceptional quality of the additions. Despite losing 5 double-digit scorers due to the expiration of their eligibility, the program was able to reinvent its roster without compromising its level of competitiveness. Mark Pope's work has been described as a proof of concept. He not only retained the team's experienced core, but also brought in reinforcements capable of elevating the team's performance. The numbers speak for themselves. In the On3 Transfer Portal's team rankings, which combine additions and departures, Kentucky ranks second nationally, reflecting the program's efficiency in taking advantage of the transfer market. Individually, the new signings also shine in the rankings. In addition to Quaintance at number 4 overall, Jalen Lowe comes in at number 52, followed by Mo Diabat, number 61, Cam Williams, number 80, and Denzel Aberdeen, number 89. These numbers reinforce the idea that Kentucky not only attracts talent, but also makes strategic choices that maximize those players' impact on the team. Kentucky's success in the transfer portal is nothing new, but the way the program has handled this offseason cements its reputation as a champion of that system. While other teams have struggled to replace key departures or adjust their rosters, the Wildcats have shown that they are always one step ahead. The ability to maintain stability while adding high-level pieces is a hallmark of the program, and Mark Pope has been the perfect architect of that strategy. Additionally, context matters. Teams like Louisville, St. John's, UCLA, and Michigan have also been cited as big winners of the transfer cycle, but Kentucky stands out for its consistency and depth of additions. While some programs have gambled on 1 or 2 stars, the Wildcats have built a well-rounded team capable of competing in all aspects of the game. This is especially true in a scenario where roster depth can make all the difference in critical games. On the other hand, the contrast with the losers of the transfer cycle is clear. Teams like North Carolina, Kansas, and Arizona, traditionally strong, have struggled to replace their losses, which leaves room for Kentucky to further extend its competitive advantage. In a sport where recruiting and roster management are crucial factors, Mark Pope's work puts Kentucky in a prime position to dominate next season. Let's see how it plays out. Julius Randle's comparison of the Oklahoma City Thunder's relentless defense to the aggressive style that marked Rick Pitino's Louisville Cardinals in the 2013-14 season is a fascinating bridge between college basketball and the NBA. The analysis not only highlights the uniqueness of the Thunder's defensive approach, but also brings back memories of one of the most iconic chapters in high school basketball, the hard-fought matchups between Kentucky and Louisville. The Thunder have been a defensive machine throughout the 2024-25 season, leading the NBA in defensive rating and cementing themselves as one of the toughest franchises to play against on offense. The secret? A lethal combination of size, versatility, and a seemingly endless rotation of elite defenders. That ability to continually pressure, force turnovers, and convert those opportunities into quick points has been the signature of the team led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a former Wildcat who now shines as the league's MVP. Randall, another former Kentucky player, was one of the victims of this ruthless strategy in the Western Conference Finals against the Minnesota Timberwolves. After solid performances in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, he saw his efficiency plummet under the Thunder's constant pressure. "They're not just a defense that's going to stymie you and keep you from scoring," Randall told ESPN. "Their identity is creating points with turnovers and high pressure, which is different. You don't really see high-pressure defenses in the NBA." That observation prompted Randall to reflect on his college experiences when he faced Rick Pitino's Louisville. During his lone season at Kentucky in 2013-14, Randall had the chance to face one of the most aggressive defenses in high school basketball. Under Pitino, the Cardinals were known for their physical style of play, full-court pressure, and constant traps. While Randall handled Louisville relatively well that year, including an impressive win in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, he acknowledged that the Thunder's level of intensity and depth is reminiscent of that Louisville team in many ways. Rick Pitino, now the coach of St. John's, was also impressed with the Thunder's defensive play. In a social media post after Randall and Minnesota were eliminated, he wrote, "Interestingly, in my 40-plus years, I have never shown my teams clips of NBA defense. Offensive sets and individual moves, but never defense. Until last season. We watched the Thunder at least 3 times a week. Their passing, rushing, and rotations are incredible, and they're still so young." Pitino, one of the greatest defensive strategists in basketball history, sees something in the Thunder that he has rarely seen in professional teams: the ability to translate college defensive principles to the NBA level. The constant pressure, quick turnovers, and fluid communication are reminiscent of the system he implemented during his time at Louisville. But what makes the Thunder unique is their ability to maintain that intensity throughout a game, something that is harder to sustain in professional basketball due to the faster pace and longer games. For Randall, the Thunder matchup was a lesson in how the evolution of basketball can bring elements of the past to shape the future. While he struggled to overcome OKC's defense, he may have felt an echo of his struggles against Louisville. But unlike back then, this time the opponent was an NBA team with faster, stronger, and more experienced players. The margin for error was virtually non-existent. Comparing the Thunder to Pitino's Louisville also serves as a tribute to the lasting impact of the defensive style that Pitino created. Throughout his career, Pitino revolutionized high school basketball with his emphasis on defensive pressure and quick transition. Now, decades later, we see elements of that system being successfully applied in the NBA by a young and talented team like the Thunder. For Kentucky, this connection between the present and the past is especially meaningful. Both Randall and Gilgeous-Alexander are products of the John Calipari-led program, which is known for developing players who thrive in dynamic, competitive systems. Seeing a former Wildcat like Gilgeous-Alexander lead a team that incorporates defensive principles similar to the ones Pitino used against Kentucky is a testament to the ongoing cycle of influence in basketball, and Kentucky will always be listed as a reference, and it will continue to be so under Pope. Comment below.